Hello, what is going on, guys? Huggy Guy 1 here. Welcome to my review of No Time to Die. No Time to Die is directed by Kerry Joji Fukunaga and stars Daniel Craig, Rami Malek, Leah Seydoux, Lashana Lynch, Ben Whishaw, Naomi Harris, Ralph Fiennes, Christopher Waltz, and Ana de Armas. The story is about James Bond, who is in retirement after 5 years and is told to go on a mission, which he ends up accepting after a while, to find out more about this Project Heracles and more about what's behind it, and it's just more about it instantly, and eventually has to try and stop Soften. So the story and the structure is really good. It starts off really well in the first act, setting up the movie well, by connecting Safin to Madeline right away, showing how there's childhood drama with Madeline and Soften, and how they're connected to each other through that whole dramatic past, really setting up the movie more, and as well as just showing Bond and Madeline's healing before going into the No Time to Die sequence. It's a really good setup of the entire plot, just really showing how Seth and Madeline are connected to each other. You know what I mean? It shows 5 years later, Bond is retired, and he's assigned to go on this mission, which he originally doesn't accept, but then ends up accepting. Kind of feels like it's more down to basically some like previous installments of Daniel Craig's Bond movies, but they still make it pretty interesting, as each thing does feel pretty make it interesting with the whole Project Heracles thing, and just how Bond shoots and just trying to find how things going on with this, and just with the whole things with Felix Leiter and how it ends up dying and something. It's just a really good way to like shows all in the second. I mean, it shows Bond. You can see he's not exactly happy with the whole situation in MI6 right now. Seeing what M did with the 007 name, he just doesn't really agree with it at first. You can see he's just trying to gain a trust more of him and the MI6 more, just so he does end up helping without this Soften, as well as the Project Heracles, this entire thing. So they do keep it interesting with that, and all these other characters to help them out. Despite it being a bit more basic, they still keep you invested into it with Bond. You can see that he's into the whole mission and just really is trying his best, especially when he is going after Blofeld specifically. I mean, you can see that. I mean, it brings back to more drama from the last movie with Blofeld, and not exactly seem to have a good relationship with Blofeld. It shows into the interrogation, technically, how much Bond is into the mission with the Heracles. It's really, I mean, I'm going to confront M himself about it, because he doesn't really like how M, in a way, kind of started it. Eventually, they do end up getting to the climax that they're showing him, and eventually once you get to that climax, I mean, really interesting, that's where he gets to stop his lawyer or fights out Forrest's man, and just like investing, and just really felt like everything was leading up to that point, and just really exciting to get there to that moment, and it really felt all worth it, especially since there's a lot of build up to it, and once you get there, it's really intense and interesting, especially when a big sacrifice for me. I mean, it just really is a sad ending to the movie that really just fits into the end of an era kind of thing with Daniel Craig. It fits into that with the ending, and it just really hits you hard, and it's just really sad without really trying to spoil it. The pacing is really good, despite it being a really long movie. It honestly didn't really feel like it. I mean, they kept you invested in the story throughout, and especially since they do give you a good amount of action scenes in this, it just makes it more interesting and intense. Not only that, just the story itself, I mean, it's kind of more basic, but it still keeps you invested in it. Therefore, it doesn't really feel as long as you still stayed into it, and it's just not anywhere near as Memoria might seem. James Bond is a really good character. Just his entire character arc in this is really, I mean, for one thing, his relationship with Madeline, this actually feels like a real husband and wife relationship and boyfriend girlfriend relationship, like previous movies. I mean, they even go back to Casino Royale to help grow that relationship by mentioning Vespa from that movie, and it's just really shows that James Bond still obviously has feeling for other people, as he even goes straight to Vespa's grave there. before obviously it explodes. Back to my main point, you can really see his relationship with Madeline really does feel like they are actually boyfriend and girlfriend. They feel like they're into each other, and you can really see, despite Bond leaving her behind 5 years ago, they still get back together, and it really grows that relationship as it is, because it's really rare and something I did not expect at all, because usually they don't do that with Bond's relationships, and it really shows. I mean, he even feels like a father to Madeline's kid. He kisses his daughters or something, and even just gets to the point where it feels like he's actually the father of them. And he even told her that he loves her, which is something you don't usually see from Bond, since he normally doesn't usually have like an actual like relationship where he's actually into the girl. His entire character arc in this movie is really good. I mean, besides that, they also have just in the thing where like he's in retirement and he gets out of it mostly because he's not exactly happy with M's decisions. So other than go on this mission with her, who's in this, it's really goes to show how much he's into the 007 name, and just how he's still into the spy elements despite him retiring, and even to the point where he's gonna go out of retirement for just one mission, and just really to show, and even to the point where his character arc ends with him sacrificing himself at Safin's lair. Just really sad, and it's a good way to like end the era. Just really makes you feel emotional, because he lived an era now he sacrificed himself just to try and save more people. James Bond obviously isn't usually like that, but in this movie he decided to take it off so more people can live. And even in his dying, which is tells Madeline that he loves him, which completes his character arc. Madeline is also a really good character. This is one of the few Bond girls that actually have a personality. I mean, they care for a family. You can see that she cares about Bond. I mean, it's just really nice to see a change from a Bond girl having an actual personality. So it's actually really nice to see that. And coming from the last point, really she still has feelings with Bond despite him leaving her behind 5 years ago. So it goes to show just how much he still cares for her. He also did a really good job connecting her into Safin, so it makes it show that she had a dramatized childhood, and she cared about her mother, obviously. Safin ends up killing her and almost killing hers as well. So it really just shows her the drama in her past with her and Safin, really connecting her into the story really well, making her have a really important role in this. And it's really nice to see a Bond girl with personality and just one that you can care for. Other characters such as Naomi, Q, and M are pretty good. Starting with Naomi, she's kind of an interesting character. I mean, they've shown that she's the new 007 since Bond retired, and you can see, just like Bond, she does still know some stuff about spying, and just really does a good job like helping out with the mission, and just knowing more stuff about it and helping out with it. It does make her show that why she was the 007, despite Bond not exactly being thrilled about it at first, but it still really goes to show that she is smart and does know what she's doing. And there's also Q, who's obviously coming back again for like on the third movie in a row, so he's pretty smart. I mean, obviously he's the scientist guy who helps out the mission with all the sciencey stuff, and I think again he serves his purpose well in the movie. And then M is rather different than this. I mean, obviously he's kind of buddy with Bond, but also not really buddy with Bond, as they're kind of in and off agreeing and disagreeing with each other, and then it kind of shows eventually that he doesn't trust him again, and it's really going to show that he is that kind of character, and is just really kind of interesting. Safin is a really good villain. He is really intimidating and does have a good connection with other characters. I mean, like I said earlier, he has a connection with Madeline, with the whole past thing, and just that in a way motivates him even more to get through with his plans with the Heracles and the nanobots and stuff like that. I mean, it just really shows to show him, and he just really has a smart plan. Just a really evil person, to say the least. I mean, just his plans are really smart, and just really makes him intimidating in a way, and they just make him really intimidating and a really formidable foe for Bond, as he is just one who is really smart, and he knows a lot and has a really evil plan, and in a way that almost works, and until Bond ends up getting involved, so intimidating villain, it just makes it really sad in a way, because he's intimidating, and he's smart, and his plan almost works out, so he's just a really good villain in that case. The acting is really good. Daniel Craig does do a really good job as James Bond once again, and just like in this previous 4 installments, he's really confident and really tries his role. He feels like the character, and just really has a James Bond feeling, as he does feel like him, and really tries to each and every one of his deliveries and feels like the character. And same thing for all the other roles in this movie, like Rami Malek and stuff. And he just really gives the intimidating feeling and sells each and every one of his lines. And same thing with Lashana Lynch, and Naomi just really sells her lines. And all the other actors and actresses do really good jobs. And I don't think a single one really did bad, as each one really sounded confident with each and every one of their lines. The action is really good, as each one of them is just really exciting, especially the opening scene. It's a really good way to start the movie. Not only that, it just really gets you into the movie, because it's a really exciting action scene, and just each one seeing the motorcycle and everything about it really just makes it feel really fun and keeps you into the movie. And as it goes, there, I think that the climax especially is a really fun action scene, and there's also in the Cube, they did some cool things with that action there. It just really keeps you into the movie, and it's really fun, as each action scene just really does keep you into it, and just finds creative ways to make you invested in it. The cinematography is really good. It does a really good job of capturing moments, like especially in the action. Like, it also goes into editing, which I'll also bring up in the segment. And both the cinematography and the editing and the action scenes especially are really good. Just they find the way to get the right angles to capture the action scenes to make you feel more into the set action scenes, and really give the right shots off them. You can see the whole landscape of them, and especially the editing, which is like just smooth transitions and gets over to it really well, and especially in the fight, that's to its advantage, to just really cut into different shots and just really still make you feel into the action scene. And then just the normal time scenes as well, just really, you know what I mean, just smooth editing with the right camera angles, and they do an overall good job with that. The soundtrack is really good. The No Time to Die theme song, No Time to Die by Billie Eilish, is just a really good song that really works for this movie. I mean, it kind of feels more sad, just like this movie is. I mean, it's down-putting. This movie is trying to make you feel sad, so in a way, just it's sounding like the way it is just makes you feel more sad, and it gives the good representation of what's to come in the movie. Just a really good way to give you an idea of what's to come in the movie. It's a really good song as it is, but it also does really fit into the movie for that reason. Also, the score in the movie is just really good. I mean, each action scene behind it, they just make you feel the right tone of it, and just really feel more into that action scenes, especially whenever they use the right moment for each scene in the score. Just makes me really feel into the scene, and just feel like more tonally into it, and matches the tone of each one. So overall, No Time to Die is a masterpiece, and is one of the best James Bond movies, and I'd say at the moment is my third favorite Daniel Craig James Bond movie behind Skyfall and Casino Royale. So I'm going to give No Time to Die a 10 out of 10. That was my review of No Time to Die. What are your thoughts on No Time to Die? Tell me in the comments below. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.